Hello, financial freedom seekers. Does your path to financial freedom seem like an endless journey of saving and amassing wealth, just so that you don't have to work one day? If so, it might be time to venture off the beaten path and embrace a more holistic perspective that embraces not just your finances, but the full spectrum of your life. And the best part is, if you do it right, you can achieve your financial freedom a few years faster. If that sounds good to you, make sure you watch till the end. Hi, I'm Prudence, CPA and fee-only financial planner. I help professionals and small business owners like you to save taxes, accelerate wealth, and build good relationships with money so that you can live the life you want and deserve. Today, let's explore an age-old Japanese concept known as ikigai. It is the intersection of four primary elements: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Take me as an example. I'm good at financial planning and analysis. I can get a corporate job that pays very well if I choose to, but it doesn't excite me or fill my heart anymore. Most people want to be financially better off, and I love to help them, for example, through financial education or coaching, but that doesn't bring in much money or be sustainable. However, if I combine all four and provide one-on-one service at a price while providing financial education to the general public, then I've found my ikigai, which is the overlap of what I love, what I'm good at, what the world needs, and what I can be paid for. And that's exactly what I'm doing and can keep doing for the rest of my life. I don't need the money, but it ensures that I'm doing it sustainably and doesn't burn me out. In the context of personal finance, your ikigai income is the money you make from doing what you truly love. It is sustainable, fulfilling, and brings a sense of purpose. And the cherry on top, since you're doing what you love, it hardly feels like work. And since it is rewarding, you won't feel depressed or bored like a lot of the retirees. Traditionally, when we calculate how much we need for financial freedom, we use the 4% rule. It assumes if we have a pile of money, we can invest 50% in bonds and 50% in stocks to generate 4% real return to pay for our annual living expenses. And we will most likely not run out of money. Essentially, if we had that amount, we could retire and not have to work anymore. This formula of financial freedom equals annual expense multiplied by 1 over 4%, or annual expense multiplied by 25 times. For example, if your lifestyle requires an annual expense of $100,000, by the 4% rule, you'd need $2.5 million to cover your expenses. The formula goes like this. Your financial freedom equals 100,000 multiplied by 1 over 4%, which is 2.5 million. Now, how does this ikigai concept fit into your financial freedom goal? It is time to reveal our revamped financial freedom formula. Financial freedom equals annual expense minus ikigai income multiplied by 1 over annual investment real return. Does this make sense? Essentially, there are two updates here. First, the income from your ikigai can help offset your living expenses, thereby reducing the amount of income you need to generate from your investment returns. Suppose you found your ikigai in teaching pottery classes, earning $40,000 a year, nowhere near how much you'd make working a corporate job. However, since the schedule is flexible, you love what you do and who you work with, you are happy and fulfilled. By the way, it doesn't have to be teaching pottery classes. It could also be owning an ice cream shop or anything your heart desires but also brings you income. So now, using the financial freedom formula incorporating ikigai income and still assuming 4% return, we'll need 1.5 million instead of 2.5 million. So effectively, by incorporating your ikigai income, your financial freedom just got 40% more approachable. And if you are still in your 40s or younger, and you are working in a career that's sustainable and you love, your time horizon would be 20 years or more. That means your risk capacity is higher, which would allow you to take more risks and make more aggressive investments. Now, let's say your investment vehicle of choice is an S&P 500 index fund. Historically, these funds on average have a total return which includes dividends reinvested plus appreciation over time, ranging from 10% to 11%. So let's take the average of 10.5%. But after factoring in inflation, which is around 3.5% for conservatism, your real return would be around 7%. Now let's plug this into our formula. Your financial freedom equation becomes financial freedom equals annual expense minus ikigai income multiplied by 1 over annual rate of investment return, which is 7%, equals 857,000. That's a drastic decrease from the initial 2.5 million. Now let's stretch our imagination a bit further. Imagine, in addition to teaching pottery, you're also an active investor who has managed to push your average investment returns up to 15%, or a real return of 11.5% after accounting for inflation. With these inputs, your new financial freedom equation becomes 100,000 minus 40,000 multiplied by 1 over 10.5%, which is $521,739. This is a far cry from the original figure of 2.5 million. By incorporating your ikigai income into your financial plan, financial freedom appears not only more attainable, but also more fulfilling. And for those of you questioning whether a 15% return on investment is feasible, I urge you to check out my video titled "I Regret Not Doing It Sooner," where I described how I achieved a 25% ROI, return on investment, in my early wealth accumulation days. You might get some practical insights to boost your investment returns too. So you see, the essence of financial freedom goes beyond just the accumulation of wealth. It's about designing a life that is abundant in joy, fueled by passion, and bolstered by financial stability. The path to this fulfilling life involves challenging traditional notions and embracing a reimagined concept of financial freedom, where ikigai income plays a vital role. And investing wisely would further accelerate your process in achieving your financial freedom. When I first started my financial freedom journey, I estimated my living expenses would be $80,000 a year. And using the 4% rule, I anchored $2 million in my head and was working diligently towards it for years. Luckily, I achieved it in 8 years. Only after reaching that goal, I was finally feeling that I was able to move on to explore my ikigai and live the life that I truly wanted. But in reality, if I understood the formula using my ikigai income and my real investment return rate, I could have started living the life I wanted a few years earlier. In reality, I didn't need that $2 million. And that's the message I want to communicate to you. Start thinking about life you want today and take actions to make it happen. Remember, the journey towards financial freedom is not just about counting dollars and cents. It's about architecting a life that sparks joy, fuels passion, and provides a robust financial safety net. I look forward to hearing about your journey towards financial freedom with Ikigai. Let's get started, shall we? I also have an additional announcement to make. I started a weekly newsletter on LinkedIn to provide updated ideas and knowledge on how to build a financial foundation to live the life you want and more. My latest topics include the guiding principles of insurance, unveiling the myth of target date funds, essential rules of wealth and happiness, and the power of balance. If you are interested, make sure to subscribe, and I'll add the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and remember to share my content if you found it helpful. The chances are not everyone is lucky enough to find me, and they also need trustworthy financial advice. See you next time!